You alluded to your dad earlier and your granddad being Labour supporters. You've also said that you now support reform. So there's a political movement change there within generations of the same family. And I'm just curious on a personal level, like you, Matt, like you're clearly someone who's passionate about these things. You read extensively and you clearly care about this country. Even listeners who might completely disagree with everything you say, they couldn't possibly deny that you care about society and this country. I'm just curious about where that comes from, or where that passion comes from, and maybe a little bit about your journey, why there's that change.
Well, I think when you write a lot about, I think when you get to a certain point in your life, I'm 42, I think you really start to reflect on what you want to do with what is left, what the time you have left. And I think for some people, writing about what is happening is enough and sufficient. And I think there are other people that want to try and make things happen and try and change the way things are. And I've definitely felt myself tilting into that side of things over the last 10 years. And part of that was about Brexit and the reaction to Brexit and what I saw in the elite institutions and what happened after that. Part of it was the experience of seeing a country I love being reduced to what we live in today, with an elite class that clearly isn't thinking rationally, coherently, and with the evidence in mind, is just imposing dogma on everybody else. The other is having a daughter, having a child. It just changes the way you see the world, and the stakes go up enormously. And also just having a palpable sense, like many people, I think, in Britain, Europe, and probably America too, a palpable sense that we are now rapidly approaching a civilizational moment. And what do I mean by that? I mean a moment where the things that make us and us, our history, our values, our way of life, our culture, are being rapidly eroded, if not being destroyed altogether. I certainly feel that moment, that this isn't about policy, it's not about transactional politics, it's not about leaders, it's not really even about political ideology. It is this more existential, deep-rooted, sometimes overwhelming sense that we are losing what it is that makes us and us. And I think many people out there feel that, and I think they're looking at leaders and they're thinking, you don't have the answers to this, or you're not even willing to recognize what is happening. Never mind, do something about it. I certainly feel that. So I think it's kind of age colliding with recent political events, colliding with this, what are we leaving behind, and how on earth are the next generation and the generation after that? What is life going to be looking like for our children and their children, and that changes the calculation that you make.